Yes, I'll prove it. my skin. How could love wear so thin? I'm sinking in the hollow ground. Nothing can stop me wanting you somehow. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't be I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, we won't be alone.
Hey there, champions, and welcome to the Paladins RWBY update show. My name is Gerald, and I'll be your host for today. You may know me as Hyra's Drool on Twitter, and I'm one of the community managers here working on Paladins. Today, I've gathered up the boys, Fish and Nico, and we'll be talking about all the new stuff coming to the realm. How are you guys doing today?
Well, I for one am feeling great, and I think it's just fortuitous that we have the RWBY update and we have High Res Jewel as our community manager, show host. RWBY being also a Jewel, and I was RWBY, but whatever, it's all good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm excited for this one.
Close enough. Well,
Just right. I can get a little gym in my forehead, which is always nice.
if you position it just right, yeah. Well, awesome. All right, what do you guys say we just get right into it?
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
All right, moving on to the first thing, let's talk about the new game balance changes coming to the realm. Starting off with some general updates to the items.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can talk through these real quick. All right, so one of the things that has been something we've been talking about for a while now, we are converting almost all killing blow effects or killing blow cards to elimination effects instead. The intention here is to reduce a lot of the frustration for especially like reset builds where I need to have the final hit, I need to have the killing blow to gain the effect, and my teammate, who is ostensibly helping me by shooting the enemy, is in fact taking away from my gameplay experience because I didn't get the killing blow. So there are some notable exceptions. Specifically, I believe there are 2 cards, at least one for Tyra and one for Lex, that deal specifically with like marking mechanics and killing blows against a marked target. We felt that those were thematically appropriate to leave, but most of the others have been converted to eliminations instead, and you'll see those listed on the patch notes under each champion for each change.
Yeah, and then we've got a couple item store changes as well. We've increased the cost of Haven from 300 to 350. It is now the most expensive item in the store, and we increased Veteran from 200 to 300. That's because we've been seeing this style where you grab both Haven and Veteran, and we still want both these items to have a spot in builds, but we want to make it a little bit more difficult to try to emphasize both of them and still have the rest of your build fully functional. We've made some changes to Guardian scaling and Illuminate pricing, but more than that, we've also replaced Provision with Lethality. It will now scale up, giving movement speed after a kill, pulling that over from Siege Beyond in the first iteration. So some cool stuff in the item store too.
Awesome.
And we also have a couple of minor scaling changes. I believe for Guardian, we increased the scaling value to 7%. And our Illuminate cost has increased from 150 to 175 per level. I do want to point out, especially for the item balance changes, your feedback is going to be super, super valuable in PTS, especially with kind of that balance we're trying to walk with the increase in cost for Haven and Veteran, and where that lands as far as how quickly, how easily can you fit both into a full build? Are you still buying them both first? That kind of thing. So if you have feedback, please let us know.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And also to let everyone know at home, patch notes will be posted at the end of the show, so you guys can get the full list of changes coming. All right, now let's move into some of the champion changes. Let's talk about Androxus.
Androxus. I will take Androxus. All right, so another thing that we've been talking about for a while now, we finally pulled the trigger, so to speak, haha, gun joke, on this change is we are making Cursed Revolver Androxus's base weapon. He's also getting a slight damage nerf with this. Numbers can change in PTS, obviously, but now Cursed Revolver is the way that Androxus plays at base. This opens up an opportunity to choose another talent in addition, and then Cursed Revolver, the talent, will be reworked. The new effect is your revolver applies an effect that lasts for 2 seconds, which deals damage at an interval, and that damage increases per tick the longer it remains on the enemy, with a maximum damage. So if you keep hitting the enemy with the revolver, the effect will refresh on the enemy, and the damage will scale up to a maximum value per tick. And as long as you keep that dot on the enemy, they'll keep taking damage until it falls off. I believe we also have a couple of card changes. Both of his card changes are the killing blow to elimination changes. So they are Essentially the same effect, but delivered a different way. Spiteful is generating ultimate charge after hitting at least one enemy with Defiance, and Vengeance is now healing after hitting at least one enemy with Defiance rather than killing blows.
Awesome. And I see here that Sky is getting some significant changes to her stealth. You guys want to talk about that?
Yeah. So the little small stuff, we increased the range of her wrist crossbow up to 55. The tooltip was incorrectly saying that she had a range of 30. That was not right. It was actually 45, so it's not as big of a change as it may sound. We have reworked her preparation talent. So now what it's going to do is it's going to set the duration of hidden at 2 seconds and prevent that from being increased by any method that might have otherwise increased it. But while hidden, you're going to reduce the damage taken by 75% and increase your movement speed by 20%.
Awesome. I'm really looking forward to those changes. Moving
Yeah.
around fast is really what I need in that character. All right.
Gotta be
And then
everywhere.
exactly. And then let's talk about Grover, who looks like he's getting his healing tweaked a bit.
All right, so Grover, you'll need to check the patch notes after because I wrote like a really punny dev commentary. I hope you enjoy it. But essentially, we're reworking a number of Grover's talents. So we'll go through all the changes, but essentially, so Blossom, we are decreasing the burst healing on Blossom from 800 to 650, but it now essentially has Rampant Blooming's effects, or previous Rampant Blooming's effects at base. So it now also applies a healing over time effect for 300 over 2.5 seconds on hit. We are also making sure that he can see his own effect radius for the healing circle. That's something that's just a big quality of life, knowing when you can hit that Blossom. And then for Crippling Throw, we're increasing the base damage a little bit, 400 to 425. And for Throwing Axe, actually, this is something that you'll note for a number of champions, but many of the champions that have the ability to launch themselves into the air, notable examples being Grover, Anara with her Flying Wall card, Bomb King, Poppy Bomb are having their midair inaccuracy on their in-hands or other abilities removed, Grover's being one of them. So no more midair inaccuracy for Grover Axe. And then we are reworking Deep Roots and reworking Rampant Blooming. So Deep Roots has had a number of changes, number of iterations. Frustration with, we want Grover to be a utility, right? Leave that identity intact. But
Stick to the points, Kevin.
I'm sorry, I had to get a couple in there. But the effect itself, especially the crippling chain that we had previously, was becoming a frustration. So the new Deep Roots, so Crippling Throw chains to nearby enemies, causing a healing aura to spawn around them. So hitting an enemy will chain to other enemies, and allies that are near those enemies will be healed over time. And then we are also reworking Rampant Blooming. So the Rampant Blooming went into Blossom at base. And the new Rampant Blooming is heal for a burst of 500 and an additional 300 over 2 seconds at your location when you finish vining. So you vine, and then when you get there, you burst heal, with a heal over time component as well. So a lot of Tree of Life stuff going on.
You're way too good with puns. I'll be honest.
Kind of
It never
brainstormed my
stops.
head really there, but we get it done.
It never stops. Yeah.
All right, and then let's talk about one of my favorite champions because I'm a tryhard. Let's talk about Kinessa. What's happening with her?
Sure. Yeah, so a lot of the theme of this patch is quality of life buffs, a couple of shifts. Kinessa is one of the more significant nerfs. We'd heard some complaints. So for her primary fire outside of the sniper mode, we're decreasing the damage from 180 to 170. In the sniper mode, we're increasing the time to fully charge for max damage from 1 second up to 1.2 seconds. She's also getting some decreased accuracy in the air and after jumping. That being said, for Transporter, we are slightly reducing the time before she teleports from 1.1 second to 0.95 seconds. Her mines were feeling rather oppressive from community sentiment. So one of the highly requested changes, they no longer target mounted enemies so that they will not dismount. We've also adjusted the projectile speed for Headhunter, we're adding a 0.25-second pre-fire to give you a little bit more opportunity for counterplay. We also adjusted her oppression talent. Now, in addition to the other changes it makes, it also increases the cooldown of oppressor mines by 2 seconds. So the mines, while stronger, will happen less frequently. And then her generator card, we've reduced the scaling from 1.5 seconds to 1.2 second. So hopefully Kinest is a little bit more manageable on the enemy team.
And once again, I am heartbroken over these changes, but I can see why they needed, especially the mines no longer target mounted enemies.
We tried to go
Heartbroken,
easy,
but
but Montreal just kept pushing us to go really hard on nerfing Kinest. So.
I mean, I see why the changes are made. Anyways, so again, once again, to let everyone know, patch notes will be dropping after the show, so you can see the full list of balance changes, and there are quite a bit of them this time around. So keep your eye, follow us on socials, and keep your eye out for those. And yeah, so let's go ahead and move over to some of the bug fixes and quality of life changes coming to this patch. Let's start with some of the bugs this time around.
And I can
Sure.
Fish, if you want, we can alternate these.
Go for it.
But I also wanted to say, yeah, as Jarrell mentioned, we have a whole host of stuff, of balance changes that you see on the patch notes. So those are just kind of some of the high points. We also have even a ROM subservience rework. So keep an eye out for the patch notes after the show. So our first fix, finally, and believe me, like specifically this Cassie thing has been the bane of my existence for like ever. It's been on the backlog. Every once in a while I get free time, I try to look at it, and we haven't been able to fix it. But finally, Cassie, Timber, and Tinder are now distinct as they should be, separate skins with different colors. Finally. And then we had a free rewards quest issue that should be fixed at this point. And then believe me, I personally have experienced it. The audio issues that you guys have been reporting to us, that is a huge focus for us right now. So we are in the middle of investigating and trying to find a fix for it. So please, thank you for your patience so much. It's a top priority for us. But yeah, just a heads up. Still looking into that.
With that free rewards quest, that quest was functional as of last patch. It just didn't have the messages to tell you, hey, this is how you do it, and this is the reward. And going out with this patch, those should be clear. If it's not showing up for you, that means you already completed it, and you've already received the rewards for it for watching a free reward video.
Awesome. And again, believe it or not, we do listen to you guys. And I do see your tweets about all of the stuff that's happening and all the stuff that we can fix. And we are trying very hard to work on these things, especially with the audio issue. I know ever since the last patch, we've been working very hard to fix that for you guys. So if anything ever comes up, just hit me up on Twitter, and I'll forward it to the team, and we'll work on it. Yeah. All right. And with that said, let's move on to these new custom settings.
Yeah, this is exciting. We've been working on this for a while, and little things pushed it back a couple patches. But we're really excited to finally bring them to you. We've added some options that we've used internally for some of our LTMs, for our limited modes, that can now be you can modify any custom match that you create from the advanced settings menu. Let's see. I think we've added some starting credits, some cooldown reduction, movement speed, changes like that. So definitely try it out. I think there's some fun opportunities for creating your own favorite versions of your own custom limited time matches. So definitely have fun with that. We've also outside of that. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go on.
Yeah, outside of that, we've done a number of quality of life changes. Some of these are focused on new players, but they'll benefit everyone. We have changed our free champion roster. We've added another frontline, and we've swapped a couple out for champions that new players tend to have a little bit more success with. So make it a little easier to learn the game for new players. We've also unified the ability order. There was one order for the centered HUD. There was one order for the non-centered HUD. There's another order for the champion screen. There's another order for the K or ability screen. And now all of those should be unified. If you had previously set to centered or non-centered, your HUD order should be preserved. For new players starting out, it's going to be this new same order that's in the other places. So it'll either be down to 2 orders for people using the legacy options or just 1 for new players. And we've also added auto buy that can be toggled in the item source screen itself. That'll be more convenient. Previously, you'd have to go to the settings and you wouldn't be able to toggle it back on. So that should help out as well.
Awesome. And then we earlier we posted a blog post stating that we are changing the free champions that are available to all new players. Can we talk about that and why we're making these changes a little bit?
Yeah, Kevin, you want that one?
Sure. Yeah. So, so it's been something, again, I'm kind of repeating myself. This is like the 3rd time, but it's been something that's been on our minds for a while now. This is a really good update opportunity for a number of changes that have been either on the back burner or kind of in the works for a while. But so for the new champion changes, there were some champions in the current free rotation that, or who we felt didn't accurately represent or were slightly more difficult for newer players to kind of get a sense of, okay, so this is what this role does, or okay, this is, you know, the relative level of complexity for this role or this champion or Paladins as a game. So in addition to kind of keeping things a little bit fresh, we also wanted to make sure that players had an opportunity to play with champions that we felt better represented a good showing for newer players specifically, as an intro into Paladins. And so we made some changes, targeted changes, in coordination with marketing and everyone to kind of shift closer to find kind of that good middle ground for those different champions.
And with that, if you champions that were previously free, existing players will have those unlocked for them. So champions that you bought cosmetics for, champions that you had mastery in, out of the free, you will still have access to. And then we've updated the deluxe and gold editions so that the ones that are not free will now be available in those DLC.
Awesome. And again, if you guys want more information, we did post a blog post about it, so you guys can just check that out. All right, and now let's get into some of the spicier content, starting with a visual update to Trade District. We got a preview of this shiny new coat of paint, so let's take a look.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
It looks sick, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it looks magistrate and it looks majestic. Like, it's impressive.
Majestic? No?
Majestic.
You tried. Was there anything you guys want to talk about with the new visual update?
I mean, there are a couple high points. So obviously, the magistrate art has been updated. There are some row houses. There are some updated props. The art outside of the map gives a better feel of a grandiose space with the large city outside, and then you can see in the distance some towers from Stone Keep to also kind of give you a sense of the context of the space. And all these changes combined just make it feel kind of grand in a way that the old one didn't do as well. So very happy with that.
I'd also like to point out that there are different resources and teams that go into like a visual update versus an entirely new map. So we still do have cool things coming out in the future, but we're also really enjoying. I think this is the last of the Magistrate City maps. That we after we started with the Magistrate's Archives map to receive that visual update, and just keeping that fidelity high is our goal.
Absolutely.
And this is definitely one of the maps that I'm most familiar with, and it's good to see a new coat of paint on this one.
Agreed.
All right. Okay. Now let's move on to some of the community news happening in the realm. All right. So with this month, it is Pride Month. So woo for that. And we are giving away an exclusive spray to celebrate the occasion. Play any 2 non-bot games and get your hands on this spray to show your support. Which I think the spray actually looks sick. This whole graffiti look.
I think it's a cool style.
Yeah. It's got love and 2022 in there. Very cool stuff.
Also want to let everyone know that if you haven't already claimed Boss Fight Koga from your Prime Gaming, then time is running out. You have until, I think, tomorrow to claim the skin. So if you haven't already, go ahead and log onto your Prime Gaming and claim the skin. And I'm a huge fan of all the Monster Cat stuff that came out, and Boss Fight Koga is definitely one of the better ones that have come out. And then also, speaking of Prime Gaming, we have a new skin coming with Defragged Inara. And we'll have more information coming on this at a later date, so please be sure to follow our socials for more info.
Yeah.
Right. And that's it for community news, so let's move on to everyone's favorite part, the skins. And right now we got a new skin for Lilith, included in the Beyond Science chest. Let's take a look at her.
So as we take a look at the splash art, so this is a continuation of the previous Stellar Sisters type deal that we had going on. So now we have Stellar Witch Lilith, which is pretty cool.
I'm a huge fan of the whole magical girl skin line stuff.
And I think we
And
even
she
have
looks great.
These are cool.
for like during this turnaround, we even have I think a couple voice lines ready to queue, right?
Yep, we got some voice lines, so let's hear them.
I want to skip school and become a princess.
Same sister.
Same, yeah. Cool.
But yeah,
That's just a small tease of what she's going to sound like. But all of our, I thought we did really well with this update. You'll hear a little bit later, our next announcement, more content. But all of our voice talent did really well this time. So very excited, and I love this. I actually really enjoyed the Stellar Sister skin in general. So I was really happy to see Lilith get the skin.
Yeah, with the magical
I think it's a
style, you
great
get to see
skin
some
for
really
her.
cool, like gemstone textures, which is fun. I like the floating wings, the little like knitted pet. Like there's a lot of cool details in that.
It's a huge contrast from her base skin. All right, and now let's get into what everyone came here for. Let's talk about the RWBY crossover pass.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting stuff. We get to work
We got
with,
a trailer. Let's roll
big-
it.
Yeah, let's see it.
This realm will be mine, and no one can stop me.
You'll have to get through us first.
So be it.
That's so
That looks
cool.
so sick. Yeah.
It's really exciting to get to work with another big like anime like that. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was really enjoyable. I was just going to mention talking or working with. We had some of the original voice talent actually. We were able to work
saw,
with
yeah.
for these skins, which I'm going ahead a little bit, but it was really really cool to be able to see they've been working with this character for so long, so they just got right into into the character rather than the original characters that we come up with other skins. So they were like, okay, these are the lines, all right, let's do it, and it flowed super naturally. It was really awesome.
Yeah, and I'm super excited for this too because big fan of Rooster Teeth, big fan of
Yeah.
Monty rest in peace. But you know, super hyped to see this, and judging by the community's reaction, everyone is super hyped for this.
Really excited with how it turned out.
hmm So let's go. Let's get into it and talk about what you guys can see in this crossover pass. So starting off as the instant unlock when you get the battle pass or the crossover pass,
Yeah.
Ruby Rose Vora.
It is not only a
And
scythe, it is also a high impact sniper rifle.
That's right. It's also a gun. I think that's been a request like since Vora has been around. Is that scythe?
Give
It's so
Vora a gun.
I think everyone saw this coming, but yeah, there she is in game, and she looks great. And also, we have some some voice lines from the voice actors. So let's take a listen to those.
That's why we're here. To make the world better. Now let's go, team!
It's just like the show.
Love that cape
Pers-
too.
Yeah, personally, I'm a huge fan of these. This I think they're from season 7. The season 7 outfits, they look great in game. And
I think
we
these
have
turned out
some gameplay
really, really well.
footage of these, so let's go into those.
Let's see him. Good vantage point.
Oh, the better to stalk her enemies with. Yeah, she's looking absolutely fantastic.
Wow, that's fun.
I think everyone on social media kind of knew that Vora would get the Ruby skin, for obvious reasons.
It's a good fit. Yeah.
Oh, rest in
Oh.
peace. I am
Relatable
a huge
content right
fan
there.
of scythes. So anytime we get a different scythe or a different visual update on the scythe, I am here for it. So I was very excited.
You so.
Not only for Ruby, but also to see Vora get another cool scythe.
Yes, and it looks great in game, and I love the rose petals that come out when
That's fun.
yeah the rose petals that come out looks great.
Team RWBY approaching!
Yeah, the, like flowy like leaves or flower petals is another aesthetic that I really enjoy. And I like how we've done it here.
Team RWBY approaches.
Man, it is
Good
just a
knowing you,
great looking
Fernando.
skin. Goodbye.
Missed me.
All right. All right, and then so you guys want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, there's so many good ones. Can't say
Alright.
no.
All right,
Nice.
so the next
Spray on the
skin
body.
that's coming in to the crossover pass, the level 9 unlock, Yang Zhao Long Imani. And I think it's also a perfect fit too. One of my personal favorite characters from the show.
I was really pleasantly surprised with how well all these characters kind of matched onto Paladins champions. I think the skins turned out really well as far as thematic matching, which is always something you look for in a crossover pass like this.
It can be tricky, right? Finding what has similar proportions, what has similar weapons, what has similar abilities, right? And I agree. I like how we found fits for them, and I think it turned out very well.
Mhm. Yeah, and I totally agree. And again, here she is with her season 7 outfit, which I think looks great. And we got some voice lines queued up, so let's listen to those.
You don't know the first thing about strength. You might be powerful, but that doesn't make you strong.
Yeah, she's my
It's true.
favorite.
Grover's my favorite.
Grover's my favorite. Select your champion. But no, she turned out really well.
Yeah, I think she turned out fantastic. So let's go ahead and take a look at her in game as well. And yeah, I think Imani was a great fit for her.
Those gauntlets.
Yeah.
The gauntlets and the robot hand, yeah. Looks great.
I really like that presentation for first person. That contrast is brought out, and I really enjoy it. Too.
And again, I'm just super pleased with how things turned out in game. Shout out as always to the entire team
Yep.
who worked on each of these skins. Rolling with the VFX, especially, is always putting in work. And I think they just translated like really well. So I'm super hyped to actually play with these skins in game.
Absolutely, these are gonna be a lot of fun.
The VFX are stunning, honestly. Shout outs to them.
Take a chill pill.
Art Fire feels very fitting, and the rest of them are cool. They pop.
All right.
Ooh,
Oh, I'm trying.
that's a grim-looking dragon.
That's my favorite part of the show when this happens.
Remember that time Yang summons a grim dragon?
All right, and then let's go ahead and get on to the next skin we have lined up here. We have the level 19 unlock, Blake Belladonna Sati, which I think is also another good fit.
I super dig that outfit. I think it's really cool.
All of their outfits are
Yours especially.
S tier. But yeah, I think she's a great fit for the champion because she has the shadow clones and she can put down her clone. And I think it fits really
that
well.
Pistol turned out.
The pistol does look great. And we got some voice lines for her, so let's listen.
Trust me, I know what's going on out there more than anyone. Standing around won't fix it.
All right.
And this character in particular was one of the this character is one of the ones I was able to work with writing the script and working with the talent. And so she's kind of, for those who aren't super familiar with RWBY, she's kind of like that more somber vibe, which you can kind of see even with the color palette. And it was really fun. And I think the voice pack turned out really well, specifically with Blake. I mean, all of them obviously I talked about before, but with Blake especially, and the skin. I don't think I've seen a pistol with a blade quite like that. But I just really cool.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a look at her in game.
Oh yeah.
Got a perch there.
The gun model
check
does
out
look
those crystals on the
super good.
Yeah, the glow off of them. That's fun. Vintage.
Check this out.
Yeah, the exhaust.
Nice.
Now, of course, Blake won't be exhausted. The enemy will be exhausted after
Tireless.
fighting against Blake Belladonna. Look at the cutout. Isn't that
And
fun?
The skin on that cutout,
That's beautiful.
I know.
I know that is the extra mile from our art team to reskin our deployables like that. So that I really like the way it turned out.
Yeah, I think it turned out great. And Sati being one of the champions that I like playing the most, I'm definitely going to get this skin.
How could you not?
Nice.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. The level 29 unlock for the RWBY crossover pass. Weiss
Big fight.
Schnee Furia.
Yeah. It's a good sword.
Mm-hmm. The VFX in particular on this skin, I thought were really cool. Very ice.
It's cooler than cool.
Weiss Schnee.
Of the Schnee family. And yeah, she
the Schnee
looks
family.
fantastic in the game too. She looks so good. She might be one of my favorite ones, honestly.
This might be my
Yeah, I
new
think she turned out
main
really well.
Furia skin.
All right, and then we have a voice line prepared as well, so let's take a listen to that.
The Schnee family legacy is mine to uphold, and I'll do so as a huntress.
She
It's
is
Now-
definitely one of
it's
my
an interesting mix
favorites.
of like formal and action at the same time. Like there's a button-up jacket and a long,
It's a combat
wide-
skirt.
Mhm.
right?
She's
I love
she's
the way that weapon turned
definitely
out as well.
definitely like the princess type esque character, which is my personal weakness, honestly.
And of course, we love a gun sword.
Right?
I mean, who doesn't really? But yes, she looks fantastic.
Hilt almost has some like energy sabery vibes.
All right, let's take a look at her in game.
Oh yeah, very very cool.
Something about pointing a sword at people is very intimidating.
As it should be.
Oh, it looks great in game.
I
First
know,
person.
isn't that amazing? Changing that pyre strike into an ice
effects
beam,
are-
using those
yeah.
ice effects
Yeah.
coming out.
Can feel
I
told
the
you, they're very
temperature
cool.
Off of it. Yep.
You weren't lying.
I wasn't lying. Check out that, yeah, healing VFX.
Nice.
With the snowflakes, it looks great.
Show them. No mercy.
Yeah, it really permeates the whole kit in a way that's very gratifying, I think.
I think this one may be my personal favorite. And with my luck, it is the very last one that you unlock on the crossover pass, so I'll have to do some grinding for that.
Seems like you're gonna need to play some Paladins.
Oh no.
Oh no. Just kidding.
Jeez.
So fun. Awesome, awesome.
Oh, and that
Oh,
does it
and the
for
roaming emote.
the emotes look so good. But, so
See,
that
moving
does it
down
for
Paladins.
the skins that come in the crossover pass, but we're not done yet. We have 2 more skins that are going to be included as a direct purchase with Salem Saris. There she is, and this skin
So
also
sinister.
looks fantastic. Yeah,
Mhm.
with the Grim behind her and everything. This is probably my favorite splash art.
Man, that red,
Ew.
like almost misty texture in front. That's very cool.
Love me some somber, dark magic. Check out those eyes.
Oh, she looks
Right, and those
great,
kind of like
and
veins of corruption. Oh, I love how that turned out.
she looks great. And I know I'm going to hate chasing her down because I can, for some reason, never get the elimination on Saris. But she looks fantastic, and we have a
So
voice line for her as well.
How does it feel, knowing that all of your time and effort has been for nothing?
For nothing.
Yeah, that's a good voice
That's
line.
right. Writhe before me,
Right.
worms.
It doesn't take that much time for her to really create like, oh, I'm not supposed to like this person. This is a villain. Right? That's
She's
very
kind of
well
mean.
conveyed.
What gave it away? Was it the red veins?
I think it was
Her
the
voice drips with malevolence.
The black eyes?
the floating evil jellyfish, Seer. I know it has a name. It's Seer, but I don't know. I have a soft spot for evil people in video games at least, and I think this turned out really really well.
Yeah, trust me. I need someone to bully me from time to time. Anyways, let's take a look at her in game.
Nice.
How foreboding.
There's that
There's
seer.
the jellyfish.
Yeah, the evil jellyfish. Ooh.
That's a great emote.
Posture just conveys like I'm an apex predator. Like you fear me, I don't fear you. I mean, it's very fun.
And again, I
Oh,
think
I like
Saris
those
is a
projectiles.
perfect fit for Salem.
That cell shady style of the smoke is fun too.
Mm-hmm. Again, the VFX team killed it this time around with all of these skins.
Those orbs are fantastic. I'm liking them a lot.
Let's go.
All right, and then let's go into the last skin for the RWBY crossover. We have Crow Branwyn Corvus. What a way to end
Hello,
it.
Uncle Crow.
Fun
Yeah, he's
reverse
here
hand grip.
to teach me all about drinking.
The cool thing is, we're not even seeing it in game yet, but I think the weapons turned out really well for this skin. So another really cool. And of course, I have a soft spot for Corvus, but yeah, really nice.
There he is, and once again, like Paladins had the right champions for these skins, because I think also Corvus is just a perfect fit for Crow.
Check out that blade. Now that is an offhand blade. Am I right?
And then we also have some voice lines for him too.
Watch yourself. My semblance brings misfortune, and sometimes I can't keep it under control.
That's right, Crow, the harbinger of bad luck.
I like the mix of like business casual with a button-up shirt, a vest, and slacks, and then a cape. I think that should be a more common outfit.
Yeah, that's my casual wear. I go to Publix with that.
When you have an interview at 5 but gotta save the world at 7, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Exactly.
Sometimes it be like
Dress
that.
the job you want, not the one you have.
Exactly.
All right, let's take a look at him in game.
Bringing it home.
You're right. That sword does look fantastic as well.
Nice and chunky weapon shots.
Yeah, that gun's a classic.
Oh, and it's a
Good
crow.
curves.
Ha! With the feathers.
Throws-
I love it.
That is fantastic.
Fun fact, Corvus is actually based on the Latin word for crow, which turned out to be quite fortuitous because, you know, Corvus, crow, easy peasy.
We played the long game.
Bird? Yeah, I see.
Played the long game. Calculated. It was the plans coming together.
Don't be the power of my semblance.
Nice.
And he looks
I
great
love.
too. I love.
I'm really enjoying the bird audio, to be honest.
That turned out very well.
I don't know what about it. Maybe it's just a flight of fancy or something, but I'm really enjoying it.
It's got some like resonance to it, not quite an echo, but like it sounds like you're surrounded by him, right? That's fun.
I can't wait to like the last thing that I hear is just a bunch of birds going caw caw.
Caw.
Well, and there you have it. Those are all of these skins coming with the RWBY crossover. And once again, the main 4 will be in the crossover pass, while the Salem and Crow will be available for direct purchase. And that brings us to the end of our show. How do you guys feel about this update?
I'm happy with it. We heard the community. We put off a champion for this patch, and that we got a lot of quality of life changes. The elimination change I think is exciting, and the RWBY crossover is just awesome. I'm pretty stoked.
I know we were only able to touch on a couple highlights or a few highlights for the balance changes, but we have an extensive list. I'm really excited for you guys to get your hands on them and provide feedback. That's going to be super important for us. As soon as we get PTS up, which I don't know when we're planning to do that, but we are definitely, as soon as possible, as always, making sure
We'll
that
message
it's
it on
open
socials.
for you guys. We'll message it out on socials, so keep track of that. But I'm pretty hyped. I thought the RWBY crossover turned out really well, and like I said before, I'm super hyped for all these changes coming with this update. So, as always, you guys are fantastic.
And like Nico said, follow our socials. We'll have more info on the upcoming PTS, so you guys can go ahead and try it out and give us our feedback. And again, we are watching, so please give us your feedback.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, that was it for our update show.
Awesome.
So-
Make sure to give
Hope
us
you
your
enjoy.
feedback. Have a fantastic rest of the day, rest of the week, and we'll see you in the realm.